G'day guys and welcome to the incredible Manly right here in New South Wales, one of my favourite parts of the world. Plus, I live just up the hill. We're standing at the Manly Wharf Bar, which is super exciting, but look at that. What a view. And I promise you, there's no crocodiles. Matty right up there in the Northern Territory, that man is an absolute lunatic. That was so good to watch. But today, what we're doing is a classic Aussie surf and turf barbecue Sunday long lunch. So I hope you guys are ready to eat. I hope you're hungry. And if you have any questions, shoot them through to us. I'll try and answer them as best I can, but please don't get distracted by the view. How good is it? So first thing we're gonna do is get our barbie on nice and hot. Now, key for me, super hot barbecue and a room temp steak. Okay, so barbecue's been fired up for about 20 minutes before we decide we're gonna cook. And here we go, we have an incredible piece of ribeye on the bone. Have a go at that. It is an incredible piece of meat, about 1.2 to 1.5 kilos. So it's a sharer. It's one that we're going to share with family and friends. And the beautiful thing is, this is from the Riverina region of New South Wales. One of the spots we're actually stopping on Taste of Australia with Hayden Quinn this year. Really, really excited. Plus, grab this from a local butcher just over in Balgowlah, Richard's Meats. Those guys do amazing, incredible produce. And at the moment, it's all about supporting local. So try and support local where you can, buy Australian. That's what we're about. So, beautiful piece of meat. It's all about that seasoning. Now, number one, salt. This may look like too much salt, but a lot of it's gonna get knocked off on your barbecue. So go pretty hard, nice sea salt, crush it over the top there, let it all rain down. Wonderful. So tasty. We have got to have the best produce in the world here in Australia, I promise you that. That is why our food tastes so good. Just give it a little press, and what I'm going to do is just flip it over, whoop, and then we'll do the other side as well. Get that salt in there, well seasoned. As I said, it may look like a lot, but a lot of it will knock off. This is a large piece of beef. So press it in, flip it over. Look how thick that is. You can see that thickness there. Absolutely classic. So we want to get the salt onto the outside as well. Just roll it around on that excess that we've got. Press it in, push it, and that is perfect. Big tip from me, I'm not a massive fan of adding any pepper to my steak. I feel like the pepper leads to that sort of acrid, burny sort of flavour. Because it's a spice. Pepper's a spice and you don't want to burn it. If you want to add pepper, I suggest adding it at the end. So at this stage, it's purely just salt. And because this steak is so large and there's so much incredible marbling through it, I'm not going to add any oil either. Super hot barbecue, that is all we need. So I'm going to rip the lid up and I'm going to get that steak on there nice and quickly. And look, sizzle, 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 sizzle. I'm gonna pop the lid down. It's gonna aid in the cooking process as well. Roast it away. Every 90 seconds, I'm gonna give it a turn. 90 degrees, flip it, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. But we're live, we're gonna do it together. So get rid of this salt. Back to the ocean where it came from. And that's just gonna do its thing, nice and gently. So, like I said, we've got our ribeye on the bone, and that's gonna be a sharer. We're also going to have some beautiful prawns, surf and turf, bit of a classic. These are tiger prawns, super fresh, Australian product. I've got the sort of large size. I haven't gone too crazy, but you can see how beautiful and fresh that is. It would have just come straight out of the market, out of the water, into the market, and now we're going to be having it for lunch. So surf, turf, some mushies, king oyster mushrooms, they're going to go onto the barbecue as well, with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. Plus, I'm going to do probably the number one dish, I think, from our series Taste of Australia Season 1 is charred broccolini, goat's cheese, and yogurt sauce dressing. Few little pistachios on the top, some parsley to finish it off. Of course, good quality Australian extra virgin olive oil, and it is a cracker side, I promise you that. So let's get into this steak. I think we're getting close to that minute and a half, and I guess I just want to talk about Manly. I'm so fortunate to have grown up right here on the northern beaches, and I'm sure there's a lot of people tuning in from all over the world who have either visited here in Manly or have dreamt about coming here. So we would love to have you here. Come down and visit. You've got the harbour, you've got the beach, and maybe I might even be cooking. So let's check this steak. Oh, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do is turn it 90 degrees. So one sort of half rotation, and I'm also going to turn it onto a new part of the grill. The key there is to have a super hot grill. So let that side warm up again, put the lid down, and that ensures that you're always cooking on a really hot bar, and that's what we want. But back to Manly. So good, so close to Sydney CBD. You jump on the ferry, 30 minutes, you're here in Manly, and you get to experience that beautiful Aussie coastal lifestyle. You've got the beach, you've got the harbour, like I said. From Thursday next week, this joint, the Wharf Bar, is going to be open, so you'll be able to come and have a beer. It really is an epic, epic spot to live. We are so fortunate. That smoke, that's what we want. You probably can't see me through there. Can you see me? Anyway. Okay, so Nicole, you've just asked really quickly what temperature is the barbecue. The best way to describe the temperature on the barbecue is raging hot. If I look at my thermometer right now, it's sitting in that internal sort of dome at 250 degrees. So it's screaming hot, and that enables us to get a really nice crust on the meat and then just keep that flavor going. You get that caramelization, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So super, super hot barbie. If you don't have a lid on your barbecue, cooking time might increase. Okay, so we're getting ready to do a flip. So what we're going to do is get it back onto the other side and flip so we can see the beautiful caramelization. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Let me just show the boys over here. Can you see that? How good does that steak look? So back down on the hot side of the barbecue, lid goes on. We want to maintain that heat. That is the key at the moment. I'm getting excited. My mouth is salivating, and I promise you, if you rip this one out for your friends, family, whoever it may be, they are going to be so happy. Couple of beers, some beautiful Australian red wine. Oh, doesn't get much better than that. So while that's happening, I'm just going to get our mushies, because we're going to char those off on the barbecue as well. And I'm just putting them flat side up. So king oyster, they're such a beautiful shape. We've sliced them straight down there. A couple of little ones as well. You can get these guys really, really big. They can be absolutely massive. These are sort of medium size. So flip them the open side up. A little bit of our good old mate Australian extra virgin olive oil drizzled over the top. Steak, mushrooms, prawns, some broccolini. How good. Decent little olive oil. Give it a little shimmy, 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 shake around. They're kissing, these two, stuck together. Okay, again, little season of sea salt. And they're going to be ready to hit the grill sort of closer to the end of cooking. Happy days. Now, I'm really fortunate in that I get to travel around this amazing country for a job. And it really is spectacular. We just saw Matty Wright up in the Northern Territory. We were fortunate enough to be up there in Darwin last year for the International Laksa Festival. Been over to Western Australia, Margaret River, amazing red wine over there as well, and of course incredible beef too. But currently we're spending a lot of time here in New South Wales, Tasmania obviously, Bruny Island, crayfish, incredible stories, amazing wilderness down there in Tassie. It really doesn't get much better than that. Time for our steak. 90 seconds, 90 degrees, that's sort of the rule. So we're going to do the same thing, turn it over, get it on a new hot part of the grill, and that is looking good. Now, a hot tip when you are cooking a large piece of beef like that, or any large cut of meat, would be a meat thermometer. Really, really important. It enables you to get that perfect temperature that you're looking for. So I'm a medium rare guy, which means I'm going to take this steak off at about 50, 52 degrees and let it rest up to about 55 degrees. So once I think I'm getting pretty close, I'm going to be testing it with the meat thermometer to make sure I get that perfect cook, because a piece of meat like that, It's so beautiful and it's so luxurious. You definitely don't want to overcook it. You want it to be cooked exactly how you like it. So that's looking really good. We've got the turf. Now it's time to start thinking about the surf. So I'm going to pull in my little cooker here and just start firing things up. So I've got a really nice heavy cast iron pan, and basically we're going to do some really nice garlic, butter, a little bit of parsley in with our prawns. Nice and tasty, really, really simple stuff, but it's a perfect side to go with our steak or as a dish on its own. Hear that? That is the Manly Ferry. It's just about to pull out here. When it does, I'll let you guys have a bit of a look. Obviously very iconic, very manly. Such a good way to see the harbour. Basically a free tour of Sydney Harbour if you're in the city. Jump on, I think it's like $7 or something. Takes half an hour. You can buy a beer on there. You can watch the world go by. It's really, really something quite special. And the cool thing is, a lot of the people that live here in Manly, they use that to get to work. So, so good. There's the fast ferry about to take off, but just got to warm this pan up. So we've got a few things on the go here. We've got our steak in the barbecue. We've got our garlic prawns about to happen in this nice heavy cast iron pan. And then finally, we're going to finish it off with my charred broccolini, goat cheese and yogurt sauce, a zest of lemon over the top, some pistachio, a little bit of parsley. So, okay, so Kathy is asking a very special question, and a good question at that. She wants to know what type of barbecue is better, a gas or charcoal. Now, it really depends on what you want to cook and also where you're setting up your barbecue. For me, this is so easy because it's portable. This is a gas barbecue. We can take it absolutely anywhere. There's no worries about charcoal. But if I'm at home, I'm set up, I want to cook a really nice piece of steak, charcoal is absolutely amazing. Charcoal is also great for smoking, for slower, longer cooks. You can really ease into it. But for versatility, for usability, this really is perfect. Okay, so we're just going to do another little flippy flip. Okay, so there we go. In about a minute, I'm just going to test the temperature of the steak, see how it's sitting. In the meantime, this pan's slowly getting hot. The thing about cast iron, these thick pans, it does take a little while for them to heat up, so you've got to be a little bit patient. But Kathy, at home, I have like every barbecue under the sun. We've got the Weber, we've got the smoker, we've got everything, the BBQ, obviously. It's all about the different ways you can cook your meat, but this is perfect for everyday cooking and it can really feed a whole family. It may look small, but it packs a serious punch, which is really exciting. Okay, we're getting some, I can barely see it through the smoke, we're getting some great warmth coming off this pan. So what I'm going to do is just grab a couple of knobs of butter and get them into the pan. Happy days, that's what I'm looking for. And to that, I'm going to drizzle in some of our extra virgin olive oil, just so that butter doesn't burn. We've got some garlic. That's going to go in. Now, the cool thing about this garlic that I've got right here, we picked this up from a guy in Tenterfield called Steve, who grows organic biodynamic garlic. It's the most incredible little farm that he's got up there. The produce is absolutely amazing, and I can guarantee you this garlic will be the tastiest, most delicious garlic you will ever taste. Look at that. That is just pure flavour. I've basically turned the heat off now. I'm just going to slowly drop in our prawns and just let them tickle and taste that butter and olive oil. While they're doing their thing, I think it's time to test the temp on our steak. So just bear with me. These prawns, look at them. We've deveined them. The tail's still on. It gives it a nice sort of holding place for when you pop it in your mouth. Yum, so fresh. When we come back, I'll give you a little tip on peeling prawns. But in the meantime, I'm going to pop the lid. Oh my gosh, I got to show you guys this steak. It is looking absolutely divine. Look at that colour. Can you see it? It's just absolutely shining right there. I'm going to bring it over a little closer so you guys can have a look. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So good. Okay, back on the barbecue. and in with our thermometer. So I'm just going to pop it on. Outside air temp, 23 degrees. Pretty nice down here in Manly. It's never a bad day in Manly, I promise you. So that's just going to go right into the middle. Make sure we're not touching the bone. I'm just going to monitor that for a minute. I'm going to get the temperature back up on our prawns. They are looking amazing, smelling incredible. And while that's happening over here with the temperature thermometer, I'm going to give you a quick tip on peeling prawns. I'm pretty fast because in my house at Christmas time, prawns are always on the menu and you've got to be able to peel them quick, otherwise you're going to miss out. My little sister's sitting right here actually holding the scrim and she can attest to that, I promise you. Oh, hang on. There it is. Manly Ferry pulling out. Isn't it great? It's just so iconic. Those things are just chugging along every single day. It's actually kind of fun when the surf's really, really big. Those ferries, it goes absolutely wild. But back to me old mate, the prawn. Look at that. Classic. Tip here, I'm gonna get nice and close so Timmy can get some shots, but you're gonna have to watch quick. Okay, the head comes off. The tail comes off, just pinch it, slides right off. Then the legs and the body, they should all come off in one foul swoop, and there you go. You got a peeled prawn. Obviously you're gonna wanna devein it, get rid of that poo shoot, but if you like a little extra nutrition, maybe keep it in. Get rid of those. Let's check the steak. We got a while to go. It's only sitting at about 27 degrees. The problem is you've got to be careful because it will jump quite quickly, but that's about where we're at the moment. So I'm just going to give it one more flip. Put the lid down, keep cooking, keep looking at these prawns. They look unreal. Give them a little flip, little bit of color, not too much. We just gently basically want to almost poach these prawns in that garlic, that olive oil and the butter. So good. Tasty, tasty, tasty. And the residual heat of the pan, you know, you want to really monitor these cast iron pans. It's going to keep that cooking happening. And that looks wonderful. Oh, I just wish you guys could smell this. There's a few people in the background down here at the wharf bar. I'm sure they can smell it. I'm sure they're really jealous actually. So that is looking good. The temperature, the heat, again, monitoring that. What I'm gonna do is feather in some of our parsley, and that is just gonna sit there and do its thing. Wow, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna pick this up with a towel because it's quite heavy, put it over here because it's almost done. I'm gonna get rid of this guy. And we're gonna move on to our mushrooms. So what we wanna do is get those mushies onto the barbecue as well. So flat side down, just push them down, just push them down. You've got the olive oil on there, that's gonna help them cook. Be careful of the little ones. You don't wanna lose them through the bars. Happy days. Now, I'd love to know where people are tuning in from. Where are you watching? Are you at home here in Australia or are you overseas? If you are, welcome to Australia, the best country in the world. And if you are here in Oz, then make sure you get out, see Australia this year. As soon as we have the ability to go and explore our amazing country, holiday here this year, support local business because there's a lot of industries and a lot of places that rely on our tourist dollars, especially when it comes to food. Look at that. These little mushies are just going to be absolutely amazing. So pop the lid back down, put this down here. How good. So bit of an update. The steak is cooking, it's looking unreal. Mushrooms have gone on. The prawns have hit the pan and they are looking unreal. Let me just get a cloth because that's quite warm still. So there we go. Look at those prawns. Absolutely delicious. Hard to get a good angle on it for you. There you go. A little bit of parsley, garlic, butter. They're just going to sit here and just chill out until we're going to cook. Perfect. Next up, char grilled broccolini, goat cheese yogurt sauce. I can't wait to show you this one. We need just a little bowl. We've got some natural yogurt. We have a little bit of goat's cheese or goat's curd. Nice and easy. And then my old mate, Mr. Lemon, that's going to go in there. A zester to zest the lemon up. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a drizzle of our extra virgin olive oil. So start off with some of our yogurt. Oh my gosh, I just got told there's so many of you tuning in from all over the world. We've got Japan, Texas, Sacramento, New Zealand, Thailand, all over the world, Canada, California. Welcome guys, I'm so glad you are tuning in and enjoying this beautiful view right here in Australia. We hope to have you here very, very soon in the flesh. So, yogurt, this is our goat's curd. So a little bit looser than goat's cheese, and it just makes it sort of easier to incorporate and make this sauce. So get that in there. Happy days, it's so nice. Absolutely perfect. Little whisk, and just give it a whisk just to sort of bring that together. We want it nice and smooth. So nice and gentle, nice and smooth. Okay, look at that. So we've had the steak on there now for about 18 minutes, and like I said, it's quite a thick piece of beef, so it's going to take a little while. Once I finish stirring this through, I'm going to check it. I'm going to flip it, and we're just going to keep cooking. Look at that. Check our mushies while we're in there. Oh, that's what we're looking for, a little bit of char. And honestly, this is a really nice, simple, I think it's simple. You guys must think it's simple. What do you reckon? To follow Aussie barbecue, perfect for a Sunday long lunch. I'm pretty happy. I know all the boys and girls behind the cameras are going to be happy when we tuck into this later this afternoon. But get the family together, get cooking, enjoy a beautiful feed. These mushies are almost done, so we'll pull them off, but I'm going to continue with our goat's cheese sauce, just incorporating that really well. It's really nice because it's tart, it's got this acidity, and then we're going to lift it up with some really lovely lemon zest just for a bit of freshness. Obviously, pinch of salt goes in as well, key, drizzle of olive oil, just to give it a sort of silky quality. Mix that around, bring it together, incorporate it well. This is the sort of dish that I think you can really get the kids involved with as well. Just mixing it, get the whisk in their hand, get them standing up at the bench, helping out, learning where their food comes from. Let me just have a little taste. Oh, it's so good. That goat curd just has a real creaminess that I know you guys are gonna love. Like I said, lemon zest. Here you want to be careful not to get the white stuff, the pith. You just really want to make sure you get that vibrant yellow. Nice and gently get it in there. Yum. Whoop, there goes me whisk. Okay, that can set aside and we can use that for juicing later on. Wonderful. Okay, look at that. Those little flecks of gold are really quite lovely. Mix that through, and that's going to be the base for our charred broccolini. So I'm just going to set that down. I think it's time to give our steak one more turn. Whoop, watch out, Mr. Steak. There we go. And then while I'm in there, I'm going to take off our mushies. They can go back onto the same plate that we had them on earlier. Obviously, any of our raw meat products, we don't want to do any cross-contamination, but these guys are good. We've just got salt, we've got olive oil, so they're just going to get another touch of that flavour as well. So we'll just set those down, set them aside. The steak is looking absolutely magnificent. Lid can go down, and just, we're getting there. We're slowly making our way through. The steak is just ticking along. Next up, we're going to char off our broccoli. That's while our steak is going to be resting. One of the key things about cooking a big steak like that is ensuring that obviously you get the correct cook on the steak, but you also enable it to rest, let those juices sort of fill back through the meat and get that really succulent flavour that you're looking for. Okay, Jimmy, I just had a question come in from you, mate. It's a hard one. You're asking, what is the best beach in Australia? Now, I grew up on DY Beach, so that's right here on the northern beaches. DY is an amazing part of the world, and that's my favourite. That's the one that I love the most. But if I could go anywhere in the world, there's actually a really interesting beach where we're going for Taste of Australia, is Wagga Beach, which is an inland beach. It was in the top 10 beaches in Australia. Check that out, right here in New South Wales. Absolutely amazing. But gosh, I'm gonna have to say DY. It's my favourite. It's home. It's where I grew up. It's where all my sort of fond memories as a kid were. So I'm gonna go with DY. Let me know where your favourite beach is, Jimmy. Anyone else? There we go. Look at that. I bet you it must be 1:45, is it, or 1:30? Because the Manly Ferry is heading back into the dock, chugging away. It's like you can set your watch by it. It's absolutely cracker. Okay, so broccolini. Oops, excuse that. It's time to get these ready. So really nice broccolini. They're going to go into the pan. And basically this is just going to enable me to sort of get a little bit of good old Aussie extra virgin olive oil over the top. So we can get that nice charry flavour. Again, good seasoning, sea salt over the top. And then just get in there with your hands and just give it a bit of a toss around. Oh, Debbie from the Gold Coast wondering what the favourite Aussie ingredient is for me to cook with. That is a really tricky one. I think all of our incredible Australian seafood is spot on. Coral trout from up on the Great Barrier Reef. If you can get your hands on some amazing Australian coral trout, it's a cross between a beautiful fish, but also it has this quality of an lobster. I don't know what it is. It tastes like sort of softer, more delicate lobster flesh. Absolutely love it. Coral trout all day. Okay, so time to check temperature on our steak. We've got our meat thermometer for those that may be just joining us. It's my best friend when it comes to cooking steak. And what I'm going to do is just insert that into a thick part of the beef, slide it in all the way, and then we're just going to be able to monitor the temperature. You can see now it's rising much quicker. So sitting at 37 degrees C, it's rising quite quickly. We're getting to where we want to be. I love medium rare. So for me, I want to pull it off at about 50, 52 degrees, let it rest up to 55, and then we'll slice it. Just had a question, Sonny, you want to know, is there anywhere I haven't been in Australia that I would love to go and visit? I actually haven't been to Uluru. I would love to go there and check that out. Last night on the live feed, we were fortunate to see an amazing sunset over Uluru, so you can go back and check that out from yesterday's feed. It was absolutely stunning. The top end in Australia at this time of year, their dry season, is beautiful. So to be able to be there and experience that would be something quite magical. So we're getting there with the steak, sitting at about 43 degrees and climbing. So I'm just going to give it another quick flip. There we go. Oh, the colour on it is immaculate. And then that is looking pretty good. I'm going to start getting things ready into our serving bowls now. Last minute, we are going to cook off this charred broccolini. But I think what I'm going to do is basically get our mushies together into the bowl. So really lovely big mushies. They're going to go in there. And they might share the party with the prawns. So they go in. That's our mushrooms. Wonderful. Get that out of the way. And then we've got a nice bowl here for our prawns as well. Now, a big shout out to my friend Robert Gordon. These are all amazing Australian products here. And then off we go. Get our little slider. Get some of these prawns into the bowl. Look at that, yum. A couple of kids in the background been playing around on their little tinny. Look like they've been snorkeling or something. That's a beautiful thing about Manly. There's so many activities you can do. Obviously, the beach side, you can go surfing, you can sit on the beach, you can chill out, you can chat up the local lifeguards. They'd love that. Just don't get caught in a rip. Remember, make sure you swim between the flags. I was actually a lifeguard for many, many years in a past life. So it's really important to ensure you're doing things safely down the beach. But yeah, that's our garlic prawns. Just another little bit of parsley over the top. That's looking immaculate. I can pop them down the front, and I'm gonna check our steak again. Oh, it looks so good. Exactly what we're looking for. Pop it in. I think we're probably going to be pretty close right now. Let's have a look. We're going up 38. Yep. We're looking good. We're rocketing ahead. I think that's looking, yep. So that's what we're looking for. Like I said, we're looking for that sort of 50 degrees. We're going to pull it off, let it rest. If you want your steak cooked well done, just keep it on there, keep it cooking. But a beautiful piece of beef from the Riverina region of New South Wales that's been cared for and looked after by our amazing Aussie farmers. You want to you want to look after it with love. You want to get the most out of it, and you want to respect the time that goes into creating an amazing product like this, because farming is super tough, especially in a country like Australia where we are ravaged by drought and fires and all sorts of things. So respect the food you get on your plate, enjoy it, and share it with your friends and family, because I think that is the most important and special thing you can do. So that is looking pretty damn good. What I'm gonna do is pull this off, just using my tongs. Look at that, the color is amazing. You'll notice that we have lost most of that salt. I'm just going to leave that there to rest, okay? I'm going to put the lid down just quickly on the barbecue so the broccolini can get nice char on it. So I really want that temperature to skyrocket back up nice and high, but a good char on the broccolini, and we'll get ready to put their serving plate together. So Sue just asked quickly on the Facebook feed, can you surf at Manly? Of course you can, Sue. Not this side. You won't get any waves in here unless it's absolutely massive. You need a big southerly wind to get surf in the harbour, but if you walk probably 300 metres that way, you're going to be at Manly Beach. You got some of the best surf in the world. We got the Bower, we got Manly itself, we got North Stain, where they hold an incredible surf comp every single year, Queensy Bombies, and it's a lot of fun. And you're asking how often I surf there? Not as often as I'd like. I'm always working and we're all over the shop, but when I do, it's always fun to spend some time in Manly, in the water, hanging out with the crew and getting a couple of waves. But so we've got our yogurt and goat's cheese sauce, and the whole idea behind this is you char off this guy and then you just dunk it through there and eat it. So we're gonna use this as the base of our dish. So a nice shallow dish there. And that is just gonna spread out on the bottom. Look at that. And then the broccolini are just gonna lay over the top, and they are gonna absorb all that wonderful goat's cheese and flavor. Oh, my mouth is actually watering. I hope you guys are enjoying this at home as well, wherever you may be. Okay, so that's ready. Barbecue is getting nice and hot. It's ready for our broccolini. Now these really won't take too long. So hot barbecue, on they go. Chari, chari, chari. Yum. That char gives a really nice flavour, and because the barbecue is so hot, it means that they're still going to be quite tender and quite crunchy as well, and that's what you want, that nice texture. Okay, so just had a question. Oh, excuse me. Buongiorno. Emma wants to know how long you rest the steak for. Now, that's a bit of a tricky one, but they say that you should rest it for about half the time that you cooked it for. So what did we have it on there for? About 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit over. So what I'm going to do is rest it for at least 10 minutes, depending how long this feed goes for, maybe a little bit sooner. But rest it for at least 10 minutes. This cut of meat is going to hold its temperature for quite some time because it is so large. But yeah, that resting period allows it to reabsorb all those wonderful juices in it. And then that means when you slice it, it's not going to just bleed all over your chopping board or all over your plate, and those juices are going to reabsorb back into the beef. But that is looking absolutely magical. Broccolini's going good. Everyone's happy here. Keep clean, very, very important. Mushrooms are done. Garlic prawns are done. Steak is resting, exactly what we're looking for. And the broccolini is on the barbecue. Sunday long lunch right here in Manly. It doesn't get much better than this, I promise. Oh, someone's asking about being a lifeguard and what it's like and would I ever do it again. Well, in actual fact, I still do the odd occasion on the beach. I think there's probably a few boys having a giggle at that because it's not too often, but I do love getting down there and lifeguarding. I spent, 9 years of my life as a professional lifeguard. So it's something that I truly love, and there's nothing like getting that feeling of being able to look over your community, help them out, be there for them when they need you, and provide that education that people are looking for as well when it comes to going to the beach. Because a lot of our visitors here in Australia have never seen, surf like we have. They've never seen the beach or the rips or, the surfers or whatever it may be. So it's pretty special. Okay, everyone wants to know what my favourite part of Australia is. Sandy, I think my favourite part of Oz is right here at home. I love Manly, I love the northern beaches, but if I was to go somewhere, I'd probably shoot all the way over to Exmouth, northwest of Western Australia, get up there, that top end of our country during the dry season right now in our winter here in Sydney is absolutely magical. Plus they have incredible prawns too, so beautiful prawns up there as well, plus diving, plus surfing, everything you could ever imagine. Okay, so this is looking good. Couple more minutes there, get that char going. We've got our goat's cheese sauce down. I'm just gonna clean up a little bit. How good, the steak is looking amazing. And a pretty big thing, an exciting moment for me, our show Taste of Australia is coming very, very soon. We're just about to start production. We're gonna get on the road very, very soon and tour around this beautiful state of New South Wales and showcase the amazing people, of course, the produce and the farmers and the way they do their farming to create this incredible, incredible food we are about to eat. 25th of July, Channel 10. I'm excited. If you missed season 1, you can watch it on 10 Play. It's so good. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do what I do. Okay, broccolini. We don't want too much char, but we still need a little bit of love. Just lay it down into that bed of the goat's cheese and yogurt. You want to alternate it one way, the other way, you know what I mean? Just mix it up, get it in there. Doesn't need to be too pretty. My cooking is generally not that pretty, it's just real. And I think that's what we love in Australia. Real food, done really well, seasoned perfectly, good whack of salt on there, never hurt anyone. And that is looking great. Just to finish it off, I'm going to turn our little Weber off. Thank you very much. Finish her off. We've got some chopped pistachios. This is just for a nice texture to go with. There we go. Texture to go with that goat's cheese. And then, of course, my old mate, some Australian extra virgin olive oil over the top. And finally, to finish it off, I'm going to just chop up a little bit of our parsley, just hiding over here. Nice sharp knife. Unfortunately, these are not Australian, they're Japanese knives, but they do so well. All you need in a kitchen is a good sharp knife, I think, and something with a little bit of heat, and you're away. So there's our parsley over the top for some freshness also. Now, I just had a quick question come in about our beef. So it's a ribeye on the bone. It's from the Riverina region of New South Wales. So Jess, I think you were asking about that. Really, really beautiful. And I'm fortunate here in Manly, just up the road in Balgowlah, we have an amazing butcher called Richard's Meats, and they have an incredible variety of good quality Aussie produce. And seeing the boys up there, it's always a privilege. They're a lot of fun, proper Aussie butchers, and yeah, give us some of the best food we can eat. So guys, I think we are nearly done. Like, this is an ultimate barbecue. I'm just going to clear some space and maybe make myself up a little plate, but I don't want to cut that steak too early because we want to let it rest and do its thing. But let's just get rid of this guy, the big fella. It's a heavy one. And that is looking pretty specky. So we have our mushies, we have our prawns. So we got tiger prawns, garlic, butter, parsley, just gently cooked so they're just cooked. Mushies, king oysters, they've been drizzled with some olive oil, a little bit of salt on the barbecue, so there's a nice char on there. Then we have our broccolini, again on the barbie, charred up, olive oil, salt. We can do, what I can do, a little bit of pepper. Thank you very much. That's great. I'm just thinking of things as we go. And one thing this is missing that I should add, grab that lemon you had earlier, get a knife, find a board. As soon as I get rid of my board, I need it again, don't I? And then, of course, a good bit of acid over the top there, that'll help it along. And then finally, the steak. Oh my gosh, so good. Let me just do a little last temperature check. I think we're probably there. It's probably cooled down a little bit. There's probably no point doing that. But I'm gonna bring this back because I want to slice this steak. It probably hasn't rested as long as it should, but I think it'd be rude not to slice this steak in front of you. But what I want to remind you guys is obviously this live video, live from Australia, is going on for the rest of the afternoon. Coming up next, we're going to be heading back up the top end. We are going to be heading to the Kimberley to check it out with Scotty Connell, and have an amazing visual of that. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's dripping a little bit, but that's all good. What we need to do now is, the ribeye is made up of a few different muscles. What I like to do is take out this eye section of meat and then the decal which runs along the outside there. So get your knife nice and sharp, and you want to run it through here. It'll sort of fall away. See how it falls away? Cut it through there, cut it through there, cut it through there, cut it through there. There we go. So you've got your bone and then the decal. So I'm just going to put it on the deck, take that off, and then what I like to do is cut the decal into nice big chunks, really nice tasty chunks, so everyone at home can get one and get their mouth into it. That's that there. Set it there with the bone, yum. And then for the eye, basically just nice slices through the beef. Get it on there. Wonderful, just blushing. I probably cut it a little bit too early, but that's what we do in live television, hey? Make sure you let your meat rest, people. And that crust on the outside is just so good. Absolutely wonderful. Oh my gosh. Can I do this? Can I have a little bit? I think I'm gonna have to. It's so succulent, so juicy, and just blushing pink in there. That's what we want. That nice medium rare. Oh my gosh. Let's get rid of this guy. Find myself a little plate of goodness hiding over here. Put it back down. So I'm going to do a couple of pieces of our decal, a couple of nice slices of the eye meat in there as well. And then, of course, we have our prawns, surf and turf style, can go over the top. Yum, yum, yum. Couple of mushies. And then on the side you have your broccolini ready to dunk through that yogurt sauce. And I'm a very happy man right here in Manly. I hope you guys are enjoying your time right here live from Australia, wherever you may be in the world. Make sure you come and check out Australia when you can. Jump online, support local, support your local businesses, wherever you are in the world. But most importantly, if you are in Oz, travel here this year, make sure you get on a holiday, you get out wherever you can, pack the car, throw the boat on the back, get in the caravan and visit your local hotspot wherever you like to go on a holiday, because I can promise you our incredible tourism providers, the caravan parks, the hotels, the pubs, the local cafes, the bakeries, they're going to love your business because it means so much to them and it means so much to us for you guys to get out there and explore this incredible country that we call Australia. Thanks for watching, and yeah, this is my perfect Sunday barbecue. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you want to grab the recipe, head on over to my website. Excuse me, mate, in the background there with the boombox. He's loving it. But that's what Manly's all about, having a great time and enjoying it. Guys, there it is. Like I said, recipes are on my website. It's a perfect long lunch. Get your friends around, get your family around. And if you have any more questions, hit us up below. I'll try and answer them where I can. But that could be my call. That could be it. We're almost done. Thank you so much. Really, really happy. See you soon.